Good morning and welcome to Thought for the Day for Ascension Day. Have you ever had one of those truth is stranger than fiction experiences? Have you ever experienced something that you wouldn't necessarily tell your relatives over dinner? I want to take you back 2,000 years, give or take a few, and ask you to put yourself in the position of Jesus' disciples. You may be a fisherman or a wealthy woman who helps to fund Jesus' ministry. You may be one of the women who keeps the group well fed. Or you may be someone who tries to keep the crowd under control while he's preaching. You've been following your friend and teacher around the countryside, listening to his wise words and watching his miracles. Well, that blew your mind the first time you saw someone who was crippled get up and walk. You then witness a huge crowd cheering him on as he rides into Jerusalem. This multitude of people are out on the streets. And your friend, it doesn't feel good, does it? Well, it does feel good that you are close friends with a celebrity. But then things change. And the next thing you know, he's being crucified. Do you stay with him or leave? You would probably be in complete despair and possibly be fearing for your own life. And then, 3 days later, Mary Magdalene comes to you to say that Jesus is alive. He's risen from the dead. You may well ask her if her demons are back again. And then Jesus appears to you. Well, that's just crazy. Things like that don't happen, especially not to people like you. But there he is, talking to you. Wow, this is amazing, but you probably shouldn't talk about it over dinner when your relatives come to visit. After a few weeks, you're getting used to Jesus being around again. It's almost as if his crucifixion didn't happen. But then he tells you he's going back home, going back to his Father. And the next thing, he's gone. He's been taken up into heaven. Truth really is stranger than fiction. So, Ascension, is it the ending to a weird time of people's lives? Or is it just the beginning? Just before his ascension, Jesus said to his apostles, "Be my witnesses in Jerusalem, in all Judea and Samaria, and to the ends of the earth." It really was just the beginning. Church begins with Jesus. But sometimes we can be tempted to do church without him and follow our own agenda. Sometimes we are like a club rather than trying to be a light in our society. It would be great if our churches were regularly full, but we mustn't forget that that is of no use. If people are attending those services, don't go home and live a life that Jesus would want us to live. If it's the beginning, what should we do about it? Where do we start? Quite simply, we pray. There are so many ways to pray, and God really doesn't mind which you choose. You may want to sit down and pray traditional words each day. You may want to paint or draw. You may want to dance. It really doesn't matter how we pray. It only matters that we do pray. Pray that we will be a light in our society and that others will come to know God, even when truth does seem stranger than fiction.